All righty. What's good, people? It's your guy, Bendu. No, it's been a while. What's good? I'm chilling. I've been doing all right. I hope everybody's doing good. But, yo, the time's here. Time is here. Snyder fans, you can go and bitch. I don't care. It's like, nah. I ain't gonna rub it in on y'all, though. But I can't lie, bro. I'm excited to hear what James Gunn got in store for us, bro. I'm not gonna lie. As you guys could tell by the thumbnail and obviously by the title as well, we're gonna be reacting to James Gunn's Slate. Now, I kind of seen a couple of the stories so far, but I don't really know the full details. Really just been seeing pictures on Twitter and everything. But yo, man, look, enough talking, bro. I've been waiting, man. I did this for y'all. Fresh reaction on this Johnski. So I'm just gonna say let's go ahead and get into it, bro, because I'm ready to see what man's got cooking, like dead serious right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. Gotta pull this Johnski up, man. All right, man. So he posted this on Twitter. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do like a whole like little event for it and everything, but it's whatever, bro. Drop it on Twitter. James Gunn, we all know he's very active on Twitter. So, I guess it is kind of, this could be his thing that he does because like, he's very like, he's active on Twitter all the time. He's responding to fans about different things. So maybe whereas Feige does a lot of his announcements at like these big events like Comic-Con or D23, or sometimes like back in the day, I know a lot of y'all remember when Marvel used to like rent out theaters in LA to announce shit and have like their own little event. So this could be his own little niche thing though, because this could be dope for DC. Who knows? Maybe in the future they'll go to a Comic-Con and announce more things, but just the personality of Gunn and how he has moved and operated throughout his entire career, I think him announcing things, via the internet, that space is, a dope thing for him to do. So let's go ahead and get into it. Don't see what this man got in store for us.
Hey, everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love, that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous out over the next year. First, we have Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love, that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU.
Here we go.
This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns.
What?
This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Let's go.
We have a few other lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU.
Wow, True Detective mixed with Green. So I remember previously they were talking about like kind of fusing it with the style of like a Lethal Weapon and space and things like that. So I'm kind of surprised they're not sticking with that, because I could have seen them add in a little of like Gunn's quirky elements, you know, that he had with Guardians on that. But he's saying True Detective meets, you know, Green Lanterns. I love that, because I love the serious tones that the Green Lantern comics and even like a lot of the animated stuff has taken on. So really fascinating. I've liked all of the animated stuff they've done with the Green Lanterns. It's just that they'll make a movie and then they don't continue the story of that movie. Then they'll make another origin movie. Then like we had the show, of course, which just, if you have not seen the Green Lantern animated show, I don't know what you're doing with your life if you're a DC fan, but watch that show. That show is freaking amazing. Please watch that show. So I'm definitely excited for that. It looks like they're carrying over the TV show idea they have for Green Lantern. So that's dope to hear, man. I can't wait to see it.
Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm character.
What? He's doing The Authority? Holy, bro. It's so The Authority exists, and like, so I actually learned about this from the old, I don't know if this was AMC Movie Talk at the time or if it was at Collider, but from rest in peace to the guy, Top G, John Schnepp. He actually put me onto this because they talked about it in one of the Heroes episodes that they used to do, and I picked up the comic and I was digging it. You know, I'll have to reread it again, but it's almost like a Watchmen-esque type of story. So that's interesting to see him doing that.
We are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is a story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run.
So we are going to get a slightly older Batman. It sounds like they're going to kind of do the Pattinson approach, which is age him up a little bit, but not too much. So he might be in like year 3, 4, something like that, especially if he has Damian. But then that leaves me asking, are we going to get a Dick? Are we going to get a Jason? You know, are we getting Barbara? Like, because those are fan favorites that people want to see. Like, I want to see Dick Grayson. So is he going to be Nightwing here? And then my question would be, how is that going to fit within the context? He hasn't said how many years this Batman was going to be Batman. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm assuming, I don't know, especially if you're introducing him, I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm interested to see what he's going to do with that. I'm glad that he's adding in the sidekicks though, because that has been one of the staples and hallmarks of DC that's just been missing from live action. So
Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin.
Stop it, bro. Stop. Why does everybody dick ride Damian, bro? I like Damian. I like Damian. Bro, everybody knows the best Robin is Dick Grayson, bro. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I go Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason, and then Damian. And then whatever other, I don't, there's probably been more, but just the ones I know of. That's my order. And it's not that I don't like Damian. It's just that the other 4 are fucking better. The other 3 are better. Fuck out of here, bro.
He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line. And
he's a little shit. That's what Damian is.
This is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics really popular.
He better cast Chris Pratt for this, bro. I would say Nathan Fillion, but he's a little bit aged out of the role. My second pick would be Chris Pratt. Dog, you have to cast. If you don't cast Nathan Fillion for this, you have to cast Chris Pratt. Oh my God, this would be
popular
amazing.
Cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was.
So I haven't read this. I'm going to have to read this now because I like Tom King's work. So I'll definitely have to check this out. Maybe I'll throw something on the channel of me like reading through it or something like that.
Sent to Earth and raised by loving parents. Whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
All right, so some interesting titles there. I don't know how to feel about some of them. Honestly, like the Batman one is the most like to me. Superman, I'm excited about. Like if they're doing what I think they're going to do with Superman, I think people are really going to dig this Superman. And especially like, look, I love Henry Cavill. I know a lot of you love Henry Cavill as Superman, but it's time to move on, man. Let it go. Let's see what he's going to do. See it, and it's crazy because I was like, when James Gunn first came over to DC to do Suicide Squad, there was rumblings that he was writing a Superman script, and I was like, oh God, please, no, I don't. And it's not because I don't like James Gunn's writing, it's just that a lot of his like quirky sensibilities I wouldn't attribute to Superman. But after watching something like Peacemaker and just a lot of James Gunn's work, I'm like, you know what, I can kind of see him if he could tone down the quirkiness a little bit, because what I love so much about Man of Steel is that Man of Steel told a real human story. I feel like people didn't like that about Superman, bringing him down, at least the way that Snyder and his team decided to go about doing that. So I'm excited to see how James Gunn goes about doing that with his flavor and adding his sauce into the mix. So hopefully it'll turn out well. I already know he's going to kill Swamp Thing. That's Gary. I already know that's going to be good. So I still haven't watched the show that they did. I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't know if it's on HBO Max or not, but yeah, man. So there you have the reaction, guys. I may do a separate stream later, just so I can sit with it a little bit and take a couple notes, rewatch the video, and just get a grasp and feel of what of everything before I give like a full explainer. So look out for that later tonight. I may actually just record it and drop it on the channel. I don't know yet, but just look out for it, guys. It's going to be coming. Also, I know you guys have been waiting with bated breath, but me and Wrapped Out Shizz we're gonna be back on the Extendo Clip Pod, and we definitely gonna be talking about this. So look out for it. And I got some other things on the channel that I'm gonna pull my James Gunn on y'all. We're gonna talk about it soon. You're gonna be seeing some things on this channel soon. So stay locked, man. Keep showing the love that y'all showing. Derpy Entertainment, thank you for all the comments and the love you were showing me, bro. Guys, thank you for tuning in as always. Like, subscribe, and share. Emphasis on all that. And peace. Be easy.